Hey everybody, Gears here, and this is a post-Vasquez teardown maintenance check on Sunny Scrubber here. Exterior, everything is attached and fine, there's no problems there, nothing's been broken. I took the Nerf dart off just because I was shooting video backwards, which you've probably seen. Hey everybody, Gears here, and an unfortunate little note. All the video that I shot of cleaning this up after the Vasquez run, all the maintenance that I did on it, all those videos were corrupt, not only when I transferred them to my computer, but on the camera that I shot them on. So unfortunately, all that stuff is lost to posterity, and what I'm left with here is the clean and finally reassembled machine. So the one thing that did break on the first Vasquez run was the drive shaft here. So when I did it on the second Vasquez run, that was just the two-wheel rear drive instead of all four wheels. And if you actually look at this thing tearing around from a dead start to full throttle, you'll see how much not only slower it is, but how much less traction it has, as the dirt does not kick out of the front tires, but only the rear. Whereas with four-wheel drive, this thing was really ripping it up. So I've got an aluminum drive shaft on order that looks to be a little thinner. Part of the problem here with this drive shaft is that you can see where it broke right there, which is right in here at that little silver mark. Right about there where it was grading off. So the plastic just couldn't handle the heat, and it sheared right there. It almost looks like it delaminated, but I can't imagine that something like this was laminated in the first place, and it's just the way that the plastic shredded. And yet, when you look around the edges, there's clearly signs of delamination. So regardless, the aluminum shaft, it looks about as thin as this one. It does not have the protrusions that caused this one to fail, or at least it doesn't appear to be. Hopefully it will be thin enough, but otherwise I'm going to have to buy a different fan setup because this is just too close to the drive shaft. There's no way around it. The bearing sitting there is the one that sits here until I get the replacement in. What's to say otherwise? Essentially, this is complete and set up the way it will be for good. The aluminum shafts here and the brass outer covering, that's to absorb, or at least help absorb and buttress impacts between the towers. That was the initial idea, and then it turns out once I had to cut into the chassis here, that made the platform a lot weaker and more flexible, so this is also helping to stabilize the entire structure at this point. Over on this side, everything still fits well, but it's a lot tighter with the bigger motor and the ESC, of course. The ESC is not designed for this chassis, so it's still down there really good, but the old ESC was square fit on there, and it's smaller, so it fit easier. This doesn't fit quite so well, but it works out. The original servo is still here because the new one that I had gotten smoked almost instantly, so I'm thinking that it must have been dead to begin with, but I wasn't able to return it, so that was just a loss of money there, unfortunately. Paid $40 to save $10, and now I'm going to pay $90 to get a new servo, essentially, that I should have gotten in the first place for the $50 and not tried to save $10. That's the way that goes. What else have we got underneath? I made the sprue port just a little wider, and I had forgotten to put tape on there last time when I went to Vasquez, so it's back up there now. Nothing really to speak about here. I'm surprised that there is as much damage here because the shocks are a lot stronger than they were otherwise. So once I got the new drive shaft in a few days, I'll put the case back on this, and obviously I can run it now just in two-wheel drive, but four-wheel drive is definitely so much nicer. So I guess that's a look at the overview. Next time you see this, it may have a different heatsink. It will have a different drive shaft, and what else? I guess that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. See ya.